guys, so welcome back to my channel. I want to go ahead and film my whole foundation collection because when it comes to my channel, you guys, the number one question is what's my favorite foundation? What do I own? What are the shades and all of that for my skin tone? So I just want to go ahead and do a whole video for you guys so that whenever somebody asks me, I can just send them the link to the video. Okay, I'm killing two birds with one stone. So yes, I'm gonna go through all of these, tell you guys my favorites and all of that and the shade names. That way you guys can go ahead and take notes if you are my skin tone or close to it. So yeah, with that being said, make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and let's jump right into the video. So let's go ahead and jump into it, you guys, because we have a lot of foundation to go through. I think I'll start off with drugstore first in random order and then move on to high-end foundation, okay? So the first one I see is the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Foundation in the shade Coconut, I believe. Yes, 355 Coconut. This foundation, when it comes to drugstore, is my absolute favorite, you guys. If you used to watch my videos back in the day, I used to use this every single time when I filmed the video. It's super lightweight on the face, you guys, but it is full coverage. And the shade as well is like my perfect skin tone, you guys. Like when I put it on, I was like, whoa, like Maybelline, you hit it on the head. But it's never cakey on the skin. It lasts all day, 8+ hours, and it still looks flawless. And it's drugstore, you guys. And I will say when it comes to, you know, drugstore, Maybelline is my favorite brand just because they're very inclusive. They have a lot of shades when it comes to their powders, concealers, and all of that. So I really love this one. The next one I do have as well is from Maybelline, of course, but this is their Superstay Better Skin Foundation, and I have this one in the shade 95 Coconut. I will say sometimes with their shades, it's a little bit darker or lighter, just depending, but Coconut, I feel like it's a lot of people's shade out there, just being honest. But this foundation right here reminds me of the other foundation I just showed you. The only thing is this one is a skin transforming foundation. It has sunscreen in here as well. And I think that's what makes it different because it has sunscreen. But nonetheless, this one still kind of feels like the other foundation. I love it just the same. But the other one's just my favorite a little bit more because it is full coverage. This one is more like your skin but better, which is why it's called the Better Skin Foundation. You know what I mean? So moving on to the next foundation, I do have the Colourpop No Filter Foundation. I have this one in the shade Deep Dark 185, and this is what it looks like. I will say, you guys, I feel like with this one, I love the foundation. It was very lightweight on the skin. It's kind of like your skin but better type foundation, and it made you look flawless. The only thing was this shade, I'm not sure it was like my perfect shade or not. I feel like it was a little bit too light. So if you go a shade up with this one, I think it'll be perfect if you have my skin tone. So I will say, even though I do love this foundation, it's not my favorite. Like I never feel the need to go ahead and pick it up and put it on my face, just being honest. But nonetheless, you guys, it's still a great foundation. If you want a lightweight coverage foundation for everyday wear, then this one is probably for you. So moving on to this next foundation, you guys, I will say when it comes to drugstore, I heard a lot of hype about this foundation. So I went ahead and got it for you guys and tried it out, and I fell in love. And it's a Juvias Place I Am Magic Velvety Matte Foundation. I have this one in the shade Malawi 230. And you guys, I am telling you right now, I know for a lot of my foundations, I say it makes you look like you have no, like you don't need a filter on your skin because it just blurs everything. That's what I mean with this one, because out of all the foundation that I own, none of them blurs my skin like this one. I don't know what they put in here. Okay, honestly, I don't care. But yes, it just makes your skin look so flawless, so blurred out. And you know, when it comes to my nose especially, it's very weird when it comes to foundation. Foundation always looks patchy on my nose, which is why I have to put a lot of powder on it typically. But with this foundation, I realized once I put it on my nose, I don't need extra powder. I don't need anything because it really just blurs the skin, you guys, and makes it look flawless. Like I was really impressed with this one, and Juvia's Place, you hit it out the park. So yeah, if you haven't tried this one, I'm not sure what you're waiting for because I'm telling you right now, y'all, it's bomb. Now for Covergirl, I do have their Clean Fresh Skin Melt Foundation. I have this one in the shade 620 Deep, and it's a dewy finish with coconut milk and aloe extract as well. So this is what it looks like, and when it first came out, everybody went crazy over it. I think it's because the word skin milk, people were just like, what does it mean, skin milk? But I think it's because of the coconut milk in here, of course. But even though it is a dewy foundation, and y'all know I'm super oily, I will say with this one, it didn't look greasy throughout the day. I remember when I went ahead and did the foundation review for you guys, it still looked flawless throughout the day. I mean, I got a little bit glowy, but it wasn't anything crazy. So that's why I told you guys, if you're oily, just go ahead and try it out as well, because you may end up loving it. But at the same time, if I do decide to go ahead and wear some foundation, you know, for the day or something like that, I will go ahead and pick this one up because it's super lightweight on the face and just makes your skin look like skin, but better. And I don't know how I forgot to mention the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless foundation. Like, do I even need to talk about this one? Because I'm pretty sure everybody knows, like, this is an OG foundation. Everybody and their mom has this foundation in the collection, wear it all the time because it's so bomb. Like, it's really, really good. I have this shade in the shade Mocha, but I can wear coconut oil Mocha. It just depends. In the summertime, I wear Mocha because I do get a little bit dark. But at this point, I'm sure you guys know when it comes to this foundation, it's your skin but better type foundation. It's never too heavy on the skin or cakey. It looks flawless all the time. It lasts all day. It's great for oily skin and all of that, because this is their matte and poreless foundation, but they do have a dewy one as well. Like, I swear Maybelline was like the first brand to come out with a matte foundation and a dewy one, right? I swear they were. So anyways, if they're not, then correct me. But regardless, you guys, this is such an OG foundation. I don't need to say too much about this one. Now, the last drugstore one that I do have is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation in the shade 13 Chestnut. So this is what it looks like. So I'm pretty sure you guys know when this first came out, everybody and their mom and every YouTuber out there, it didn't matter, was talking about this foundation. And I know why, because it was a foundation and a concealer in one. Like, it was something new and different. But nonetheless as well, you guys, it just looks so flawless on the skin. Like, it's not a dewy foundation and it's not a matte foundation. It's just a normal foundation. And it didn't matter what skin type you had, it still worked for your skin. It doesn't break down. It just looks like your skin, but very healthy and just glowy. Okay, that's what it looks like from what I remember. So yeah, everybody had this. I think they still have this in the store. I believe they still sell this, so go ahead and check it out. And this shade 13 Chestnut is literally my perfect shade, you guys, as well. So I really love that. So now it's time for the high-end foundations. Okay, I have a lot in this category. I'm just gonna go in random order, you guys, because honestly they're all so good, so it doesn't matter. So the first one I do want to talk about is the Rare Beauty foundation in the shade 460W. This came out last year, I believe, but regardless, I still have to go ahead and pick it up because everybody was talking about it. But number one, the reason why I like this foundation is because of the applicator. It's so unique. It's like a jumbo concealer applicator almost, and you can go ahead and dot this all over your face, and it's really easy to work with and fast as well. I will say though, even though I love this on the skin because it's super lightweight, super pigmented, but it's not heavy on the skin, I love this for my neck more so than anything. Okay, so hear me out. When it comes to my neck, it's a little bit darker than my chest and my face, and when it comes to putting foundation on my neck, a lot of them don't give off the pigment that I'm looking for. They just kind of blend right into the skin and not really cover up anything. With this one, because it's a super pigmented foundation, it just blends everything into the skin. I don't know if y'all can tell, but everything looks super even as well, but it doesn't look like I have foundation on my neck because it is a natural foundation. So that's what I use it for. But if you do have dry skin or oily skin, it doesn't matter. It still works for your skin, but I do prefer it for my neck just a little bit more. Fenty. All right, so the only Fenty foundation I have, or actually two of them that I have, the first one is the Fenty Beauty by Rihanna Pro Filt'r foundation in the shade 420, and this is their soft matte longwear foundation. Now, when Fenty came out with this foundation, it was such a game changer. I mean, every single brand after that knew not to come out with 10 shades, okay? Because they knew Fenty coming out with 40 plus shades, like, that's insane. And I love this for, like, how do I say this, everyday wear, but it's not my favorite foundation because, you guys, I am super oily, mind you. I'm super oily, but with this one, I find it to be a little bit too matte for my skin. I don't know why, but it just doesn't look that good on my skin. But regardless, I will say with this foundation, I do have like a love/hate relationship with it because it does look good on the skin, but I feel like the shade, because it's a little bit too light for me, I never fully loved it, if you know what I mean. So I'm not 430, I'm not 420. I would be ideally 425. So Fenty, I'm telling you right now, come out with 425. Okay, I'm tired of waiting because I swear she comes out with every other shade, but not 425. And I feel like a lot of people need that shade. Like, we're not everybody's 420. Okay, let's be real. And not everybody's 430. So 425, I feel like would be perfect. But regardless, with this foundation, I do find it to be a little bit too dry on my skin, and it's super watery as well. So it doesn't give me the coverage that I need. But I do want to still test it out if she does come out with 425. Hopefully she does. I'll go ahead and retry it. But for now, 420 is just way too light for me, so I never ever pick up this foundation, just being honest. But now on the other hand, okay, Fenty came out with their Easy Drop Blurring Skin Tint in the shade 20. This is what I feel like 425 will look like because it matches me perfectly, you guys. But even more than that, I love this formula compared to this one. This one has a gel-like consistency, and it just blurs the skin, but it's not too heavy. It's perfect for the summertime. It's super lightweight, and it looks beautiful on the skin. And it's a blurring skin tint, you guys. Like, it's not a full-on foundation, but regardless, it still works on my skin like a foundation because it blurs everything and makes it look extra flawless. So yes, this one I love, I rave about, I use every single day. This one is not my favorite, so yeah. So let's see. I think I want to move on to the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Makeup Foundation in the shade Amber Honey. The number is 5N2 for reference. So with this, you guys, I really don't have to say, much about this. It is a full-on coverage foundation. It feels a little bit heavy, but if you use a little bit, it does go a long way. So just make sure you don't use too much on your face. But if you're looking for a foundation that will last all day, that will not budge, that will not get greasy, that will not break down, that will actually stay in place like the name, okay? This is a foundation for you. I just know whenever I'm going on a date or I'm going somewhere where I just know it's going to be super hot and I just want my face to look perfect all day, I always go to this foundation because it never lets me down. And you guys, I remember a couple years ago, I went to this football event and it was super hot outside, y'all. I mean, it was hot. Like, everybody was sweating around me. People's foundation was looking a little bit crazy, but my face still looked flawless because I use this foundation because it just never failed me. So yes, I had to go ahead and mention this OG one. Okay, now the next one I do have is a Stylist Stay All Day foundation. I have this one in the shade Deep, and this is what it looks like. Now the packaging is super different, you guys, because all you have to do is go ahead and press this down and it will deposit, some foundation on top. But I hope I said it correctly. Deposit some foundation on top is what I meant to say. So anyways, I love how different and innovative it is. And also with this as well, I remember I did love it. Like, I don't know why I stopped using it. Maybe because I have a lot of foundation, but this looks super natural on the face. It is not a cakey or heavy foundation. It's super lightweight, and just, kind of blurs the skin and stays all day like the name. But the only thing is, even though it is a stay all day foundation, it's not as heavy as a Estee Lauder foundation. So they're both stay all day, but this one's a little bit more lighter and, fresher looking on the face compared to Estee Lauder. So yeah, it's been a minute since I've used this one, so I need to go ahead and retry it. Now, Miss Charlotte Tilbury, I have their Airbrush Flawless Foundation in the shade 15 Neutral, and I actually won this in a giveaway from Charlotte Tilbury. Like, I never win anything, you guys. I went ahead and did her little giveaway on her Instagram, and I actually won. Like, look at me. So the reason why I get so excited is because I never win anything, you guys, like, ever in my life. But look at this packaging, y'all. Look at this. Come on. Like, it's giving luxury. It's giving luxury is what it's giving me. But regardless, you guys, this foundation is bomb when it comes to oily skin. I love the way it applied on the skin, the way it stayed all day, the way it just made my skin look super smooth. The only thing is 15 Neutral is a little bit gray on my skin. So I never went back to try a shade up or anything like that, which I need to. But it just looks a little bit gray. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and retry this because what she did was she actually guessed my shade through the pictures I sent her, and it did a great job. Like, they weren't off at all, you guys, because it does look very close to my skin. The only thing is it's a little bit too neutral, but regardless, for oily skin, I love this foundation. So if you watch my videos, then you already know how I feel about the Dior Backstage Face and Body Foundation. I have the shade 5N and also 6W. 6W is more so of my summer foundation, but my most time foundation, or the foundation I wear often, is a 5N foundation. But this is just beautiful, y'all. I love this foundation. It is super lightweight on the face. I have it on today, as y'all can see, so let me go ahead and show y'all up close. Super lightweight on the face. It never feels heavy. It gives you a nice coverage, but it's not a full coverage foundation, but it gives you a nice enough coverage, and you can go ahead and build it up if you need to. But I love this foundation because, number one, it is perfect for the summertime. It always looks super flawless, and it's not heavy. You know, I don't have to worry about like my foundation slipping and sliding and all of that in the summertime because it is super lightweight. So I do want to mention as well that it says on the box it is a waterproof and sweat resistant foundation, and it's also a natural glow finish as well. So you guys are probably thinking, how is it boat? But I don't know what they did in here. It is actually both, because it does give me a matte finish, but also it looks super glowy on the skin. I don't know how they did it, you guys, but y'all can see what it looks like on my face. But yes, I swear by this. I love it, and you need it. All right, so let's talk about NARS, because I do have two foundations from them. The first one I do want to mention is the NARS Marquises foundation, and this is your natural radiant longwear foundation. All right, so it has a little bit of liquid going on in here. Like, how old is this? It must be old, because y'all, it's liquidy. That's kind of gross. Anyways, you guys, I got a little bit sidetracked, but this is what it looks like. And I will say marquises. Let me tell you about the shades. So with NARS, they always have Mocha and marquises, okay? But for some reason, in each foundation range or line they come out with, the colors kind of differ a little bit. So I'll show you guys what I mean. So I have this one, the shade Marquises, and it's super orangey on the skin. Like, it's not terrible, but it's kind of a little bit orange on the skin. Now, Mocha in this foundation is way too light for my skin. So I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and go with this one and just conceal and brighten everything, and, you know, I'll make it work. But besides this shade, I will say with this foundation, it looks great on oily skin or dry skin. It honestly doesn't matter. It is a radiant foundation, but it's not super dewy on the skin. You know what I mean? Just a very natural foundation. But on the other hand, they did come out with their soft matte complete foundation, and I have it in the shade Marquises, which is medium deep 5. Now, these two are the same exact shade, right? Is what you think, okay? But let me go ahead and show you guys. So this is the Radiant Longwear Foundation. I'll put a little bit, and then I'll put the soft matte foundation side by side so y'all can see what I mean, okay? Because the soft matte is my perfect match when it comes to a foundation. So let me go ahead and clean my fingers. But this, okay, this one is the Radiant Longwear Foundation, and this one is a soft matte. Y'all can see this one is a little bit more neutral, a little bit lighter than this one over here, which is a little bit, you know, orange on my skin. So y'all can kind of see that right there when I tilt it down a little bit. But I will say, out of these two, I love the soft matte foundation, and I almost didn't try this because I was like, you know what? When it comes to NARS, I don't have my perfect shades. So I'm not going to try this one out, but I'm so glad I did because it is my perfect match, you guys. And this foundation is bomb. Like, when I want to go out for a long time and I want a foundation to last all day on the face, I pick this one up because once you put it on your skin, it does not move. All right. And also with this foundation, I realized that once you go ahead and put it on your face and wear your mask on top of it, it doesn't leave any lines in it or anything, because this is like bulletproof or waterproof. I don't know what you want to call it, but it just doesn't, like, nothing can affect the foundation. Like, it just lasts all day. So yes, they're both bomb, but I will say, if you want a really good foundation to last all day, this one is my favorite. So I only have 4 more foundations left, and one of them that I do want to mention is the Shiseido Synchro Skin Self Refreshing Foundation in the shade, let's see, 530 Henna, and it also has sunscreen as well. Now, I do want to point out, henna is not my perfect match, y'all, okay? I got the shade 530 Henna from Guessing online, but it's not my perfect shade. I need a couple shades down. Somebody told me, I believe I would be 5'10", So if you're my skin tone and you have this foundation, let me know down below. But I want to point out it is not my perfect match, but I still make it work regardless. But this foundation, you guys, is absolutely beautiful on the skin. When I tell you guys it looks like your skin but better, I really do mean that. It gives you enough coverage, but it's never too heavy on the skin. It never looks cakey. You can go ahead and keep applying it on the skin over and over, and I promise you it would never look like you're wearing, you know, a lot of foundation, because it is very skin-like and watery as well. But the only thing is, I would wear this often. It's just I don't have my perfect shade, and I don't believe Sephora carries this. So wait, they do carry it, but they don't have it in the actual store. So I bought it online. If they had it in store, I feel like I will go ahead and get my perfect shade. But yes, like I told you guys, if you do love this foundation and you're close to my shade, let me know down below what shade I am, because at this point, I don't even know anymore. Now, the next one I do have is from Cover FX, and I will say I don't know if they're going out of business or what's going on, because I know at one point they were at Sephora and Ulta, and now they don't have any of their products there. So yes, just let me know if you guys know what's going on. But I have the Cover FX Power Play foundation in the shade G100, and I love this foundation, you guys. It is a gel like consistency, so if you do have oily skin, I'm telling you, it lasts all day on the skin because of that gel like, you know, texture to it. But also as well, it just looks super flawless. It never breaks down on the skin. I never got, you know, greasy or oily with this at all. It's just a beautiful foundation, and I'm telling you guys, like, it lasts all day, okay? But I do love this foundation. I actually went ahead and finished a bottle a couple years ago and rebought this one recently, because I was like, wait, I love this foundation, like what happened to it? So yes, I recently picked this up, I believe in the beginning of this year. So yeah, I hope they're still in business, you guys. Let me know down below, because I really don't know what's going on. Now, the second to last one that I do have is the mcgrath Labs Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation in the shade Medium Deep 27. Okay, let's get into the packaging. I still have the packaging till this day because it's so nice and luxurious. I can't throw it away because of how nice it is. But here's the actual foundation itself, and look at what it looks like. This foundation was pricey. I think it was $65. It was something crazy, y'all. But I kept seeing it everywhere. Everybody was talking about it. So I fell into the hype. But it is a beautiful foundation. It's definitely a your skin but better foundation. Do I say, you know, it's my favorite foundation out there? No, because honestly, you guys, I don't wear this often. I actually rarely pick it up because I have so many other foundations that I love a little bit more. But it is a beautiful foundation, and if you want to treat yourself to a luxury foundation, then go ahead and try this one out, because it does look like your skin but better. I have the shade Medium Deep 27, and it does match me perfectly compared to the one below it and the one above it, because I was kind of like, which one should I go with? But Medium Deep 27 just looks beautiful on my skin, so I like this. But I love it more for the packaging, you guys. I'm not gonna lie, like the packaging, it just gets me every single time. Now, the last one I do have is a Sephora Best Skin Ever foundation. I have this in the shade 55, and you guys, and I might say this, you know, let me go ahead and say it. It's probably my favorite foundation that I have in my whole collection, okay? This is only $20, number one. And when it first came out, I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and try it out. You know, it says Best Skin Ever. Like, it can't be that good. Y'all, when I put this on my face, I knew right away there was something unique and different about this, because it feels like, how do I say this? You go ahead and apply it on your skin, right? You just think that it's going to be super thick and heavy because of the consistency. But I'm telling you guys right now, once you go ahead and apply it on your face, it literally feels very just thin and lightweight, but it gives you a nice amount of coverage, but it also looks like skin. All right, does that make sense? So it looks like your skin but better, you guys, but it gives you a lot of coverage. And even though I go ahead and apply it all over, I look super dewy, right? But once I set it with powder and all of that, it is locked in. It doesn't move. It stays on all day. It looks flawless, you guys. Like, I really don't know what they put in this, you guys, but I'm telling you, it is the best skin ever foundation. Like, it lives up to the name. It just makes your skin look flawless, and it really doesn't matter if you have oily skin, dry skin, normal skin. Like, I'm telling you, it's gonna work for everybody. So I recommend this all the time because it's so bomb, and it's only $20. Like, go ahead and pick it up, okay? All right, you guys, so that was my whole entire foundation collection, okay? So whenever you guys ask me, Chichi, what shade are you in this and that, I'm just gonna go ahead and send you guys this link, okay? So I'm really excited for that part. But yes, I hope you guys enjoyed this foundation, you know, collection video. Let me know your thoughts on it. But I love you guys so much. Make sure you go ahead and like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one.